PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to PCN, local stories from the South Shore. We have a full show this week as we bring you many events from our towns. We visit the Plymouth County Police Academy graduation in Plymouth, stop into a comedy fundraiser in Duxbury, and meet a theater company in Pembroke taking on a zombie apocalypse.
We visit a Vegas night fundraiser at Memorial Hall and also meet a Kingston restaurant that received a chef award.
Pet Health is back with some dog training information, and Town Talk brings us to Kingston Town Hall for an update.
We begin at the Indian Pond Country Club in Kingston for a Wicked Good fundraising event. Wicked Good Cause is a South Shore nonprofit that raises money for families that have been affected by unforeseen illnesses, accidents, or tragedies. The Winter Ball is one of their top fundraising events, and PCN was there for the upscale evening festivities.
In case you missed it the past 2 years, the Wicked Good Cause Winter Ball is a pretty big event. Big events tend to draw big crowds. And judging by the crowd noise and the lack of elbow room, this night was no exception.
We have 400 people attending the event tonight, which is an unprecedented amount of attendees. And basically they're people from the South Shore or family and friends of the recipients that we're supporting.
Kristen Frazier started this nonprofit group with other women from Duxbury to help people on the South Shore who are battling unforeseen accidents, illnesses, or tragedies. They raise money for those people with events such as this one.
Now in its third year, the South Shore-based nonprofit is expanding its Winter Ball honorees to 3 families. They also hope to exceed their donation totals from last year for local families in need.
A good deal of that money raised comes from the silent auction that takes place before the dinner. Looking around at the tables, it gets a little easier to see how they raise the funds that they do with such impressive auction items. That money will be needed with the additional recipients at this year's banquet.
Our third year, we were brave enough to take on 3 recipients, and we're very excited. We have a ton of corporate support this year, and I know that we'll more than surpass our goals. We'll be able to help each family significantly.
Gerald Schindler's family is one of those being helped at this year's event. Schindler heard about the organization from a former Wicked Good Cause honoree while his daughter was going through brain cancer.
And you find out that your daughter, has a life-threatening disease. In the beginning, you think you can handle it on your own. And then you realize that the disease is bigger than you are. And beyond family and neighbors and friends, this organization has truly been there to help us. And it means a great deal to my daughter, Nicole, and my entire family.
Up until this night, Wicked Good Cause had raised $200,000. And while the goal is to add to that number, they'd like to have an impact that's more than just financial.
We hope that people attend our events and not only see that we raise a lot of money, but we strive to inspire other people in their own philanthropy. And we also strive to give the families who are struggling with whatever circumstances we're helping them support, we hope they leave inspired and kind of regenerated in their battle.
From Indian Pond Country Club in Kingston, I'm Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News.
For the second year in a row, the Duxbury Education Foundation opened its fundraising quarter with a presentation of the performers of the Improv Asylum. It was a great performance, and PCN stopped in for the evening show.
Norm Laviolette owns Improv Asylum, and he's a Duxbury resident, and his wife Kelly Laviolette was on our board last year. And they asked us if we would be interested in having them come and put on a show for us. And we said that would be awesome. As it happened, I had just been to one of their shows in Boston, and I thought it was hilarious. So that was a very easy sell when they asked us if we wanted to do that. And so this is our second year. We did it last year here at the PAC. We did a kids show, and then we did an adult show. We did the same. We're doing the same thing today, and we're very excited that they're here.
For me, one of the fun things about doing what I do is to be able to donate some of my time, the talents, the people that I work with, because I know that certainly it benefits the community, and hey, selfishly, it benefits my kids because they're in the community as well. So, you know, and I know a lot of these kids, and we do a family show, and it's kind of fun to see kids that I coach and things of that nature, and they see me on stage in a very different light. So when we do a road show, it's actually pretty fun because usually what a road show is, it's a combination of veteran talent, people that have been around for a long time, but are no longer on our main stage cast because that's our main commercial product. But you're only meant to be there for 4 or 5 years, and then you move on to New York or LA or other kind of bigger things or roles within the company. And up-and-coming talent, which is in our junior cast, which is in our NXT companies. So it's really fun because you get to see a blend of, like, you'll see myself, I've been around for a long time. Jeremy Brothers is our artistic director, you know, one of the most talented people I've ever worked with, along with 3 up-and-coming performers in the company. I think what we always like is when they can say, like, how are they doing it? How do they do it? Because the question that you'll always get, right, is like, but is it really improv? Are you really thinking things ahead of time? Because it's so smooth, you're going so fast, you can't be thinking on it. We are improvising. We don't collaborate ahead of time. We don't talk about, we certainly plan out how maybe this piece is going to be a song, this piece will be an interview, things of that nature. But when we're improvising, we're going. And I really like it when people walk in and they just don't know how we do it.
Well, we want 2 things. We want people to have a great time. This is supposed to be the funniest show that you'll ever be a part of. And we also want them to walk away and remember that the Duxbury Education Foundation is a fabulous organization that raises money for innovation in the Duxbury schools.
PCN recently stopped by the police graduation that was held at Memorial Hall to see the area's finest graduate into the police force. It was a small class, but a proud one, whose members seemed to understand more than ever the new challenges that face the changing dynamics of communities. After intense training and months of studying, these men and women will serve and protect the peace as community ambassadors and civil servants.
Good morning, 61st. Today is the day. Today is a culmination of 25 long weeks of ups, downs, and everything in between.
Yeah, this is one of the smaller academies we've done in the last several years. We graduated 40 recruits here. The class was very tight, very locked on. I think you saw that when the director was trying to get them to look at them, they wouldn't even look away. Real strong class, came together really strong, had an excellent president, and he really pulled them together, and we're really proud of him.
It's kind of lost for words. You start so long ago, it's so long, and you learn so much about the people in your class. You make so many new friends. It's just, overall, one of a kind, you know, once in a lifetime kind of experience for sure. Today, the speeches, everything, makes you really proud to do what you do.
So today's a culmination of 25 weeks of intense training, both in class and on the road, and through applied patrol procedures and in different elements. I mean, there's the myriad of classes, from physical classes, use of force classes, defensive tactics, firearms, and then constitutional and criminal law, and how to really take those laws and apply them on a day-to-day basis with different calls for services. And today's the culmination where the officers graduate and go to all their different communities. So excellent class of 40 recruits that graduated today, and we're proud of every one of them.
Society's expectations of us in the police profession have evolved over the last 20 years. And now we, as the profession, need to evolve as well.
Well, I think, as you notice, we mentioned 21st century policing, and Director Zivkovich mentioned that we need to move that way. We believe that our challenges are our relationships with different groups of people as well as citizens. So our successes will be measured in those relationships, so people have trust and legitimize police departments. That's our goal, is to legitimize police departments with some type of community engagement.
Always striving for excellence in everything you do. Never settle for simply being good enough. There is no room for mediocrity in police work.
61st, from me to you, congratulations. 25 long weeks of triumph and tribulation, and today we stand as one. Today we have made it.
Well, congratulations to all of them. That's really terrific. And you were there. You have a couple stories?
Yeah. Well, one thing we're always confined by time limits when we shoot these stories, but the class president there had a really incredible story. I wish I could have kept more in the final cut, but great story. Served in our military, wanted to go into the police academy, wanted to be a cop in his hometown of Taunton, and he got really sick. He came down with a form of cancer, and he beat it. and he went and he became class president. I was just, I don't even know him, but I was like, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, good for him, and we thank them in advance for the service.
Yes. Fan of The Walking Dead? Who isn't? Zombies have been a great source of entertainment in American pop culture for decades, from Dawn of the Dead to Shaun of the Dead. Now you can get some apocalyptic zombie survival skills from the Watermelon Alligator Theater Company. How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse is an award-winning zombie survivalist spoof written by Ben Muir and is now being performed in Pembroke till April 4th. PCN stopped in.
So Watermelon Alligator is a closed repertory company that we started about 8 years ago now. And we have done mostly charity productions. And we've just recently decided we're all in a place where we're able to devote a little more time to it. So this is our first full-fledged production that we're doing with a couple of the towns and a bunch of venues around, and we're very excited. So what we're doing is How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse. It's an improv sketch comedy that was written by Ben Muir, and it was performed first at Edinburgh Fringe. We're only the second theater group in the States to have the rights to do the show, the first amateur company to do it. So we're very excited, and it really is a complete self-help seminar on how to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Obviously, when I was younger, did a lot in high school and heading into college. And then life happened, and went out, did the real job, and married a beautiful woman and 2 great daughters later. And I had a life-changing experience in 2009. Both my wife and I lost our jobs, and we had lost just about everything, so we were rebuilding. And at that time, my wife said to me, you know, you used to act, you used to love it, why don't you start doing that again? And I went out, auditioned for my first theater performance, and was lucky enough to get a part. So since 2009, I haven't looked back. I've been doing a lot of theater. I've done a couple of independent films, done some radio voiceovers, I've done some TV commercials. Past year, I'd say it's been primarily theater and murder mysteries, things to that regard. My role, Donald Strait, he's the survival expert of the group. So this seminar that we're holding, we have, of course, 4 people experts in their field, and I happen to be the survival expert. My character's claim to fame is that he has survived an entire week on just a cheese sandwich. The character's going to show you how to survive. He's going to talk to you about the effective ways to protect yourself from the zombies. Also very interested in making sure the repopulation of the species happens as well.
Okay, that was good. Tristan, what do you think?
Well, I think they all did a good job. That guy over there, he looked like he was being attacked by a big old bumblebee.
No, that's okay. Not everyone is going to get it the first time. And I'm sure they'll want to go away and practice, but at least they've learned something practical today.
Because a lot of the show is a lot of audience participation. But one of my favorites is when we actually ask some of the audience to come up and be part of a panel where we will sit down and we have Judy, who is our research scientist and expert, conducting the session. And my character gets the opportunity to do something a little different than everybody else on the panel.
Although the brain isn't in the heel, it's actually in the area of your head, which is that space above your shoulders with your face attached. But if you needed to know that, then you really are beyond help.
So we open March 12th and we run through April 5th. We have shows in Pembroke and Abington. And to find the exact dates and times, you want to go to facebook.com/watermelonalligator, and it'll have all of the information that you need. Phone number, link for tickets, everything.
S, sustenance. T.
No, Tristan, what? Sorry, it's sustenance.
That's what I said. It's sustenance.
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 Substance.
Sustenance.
Right, Donald, what does S stand for?
Sustenance.
Excellent, Donald, can you do S, please?
The Plymouth Lions Club recently hosted their 4th annual March Vegas night at Memorial Hall in Plymouth. The event raises funds for college scholarships that benefit Plymouth area high school students. The night was filled with games of chance, horse races, and a silent auction. PCN stopped in gambling that we'd see a lot of fun.
Tonight
Tonight we are holding an event called March Vegas, where people have the opportunity to come in, and it's a casino night. They can play blackjack, they can play roulette, they can play a game called Over Under, and we also have a horse racing component where they can bet on races and win money. Our goal tonight is for many years we've given scholarships to students at Plymouth North and Plymouth South in the vocational school, and what we hope to do with the proceeds tonight is to increase those scholarships, because we know that college education is a very expensive proposition. We have blackjack. We have 14 tables of blackjack, which is the most popular game when you come to our March Vegas night. We have roulette. I think everyone knows how to play roulette. And finally, we have the horse races, and what you do is you bet on the horses, and it's a win bet, and you will split half the pot with the other people who have bet on your particular horse, unless you're fortunate enough to be the only person who has bet on a particular horse. This is the 6th year we've done this particular event. It has seemed to be very popular because we've had to move to larger and larger locations over the last 2 or 3 years. And we hope tonight, moving into Memorial Hall, that it will be even more successful than in the past.
This is our 6th year, and it's been successful, and it's been growing every year. We started out, I think we raised about $1,100 at the Garibaldi Club, and now we're at Memorial Hall. Last year we were at the Radisson. We raised $10,000, so we're hoping to break the $15,000 or $20,000 mark this year. We've given out over $90,000 last year, so our goal is to try to raise as much money as possible. Our main event is the Thirsty Pilgrim. We raise a lot of money in that, and that's fortuitously timed because we can give out money right before Thanksgiving. So we all kind of try to beat one another, but nobody's going to beat the Thirsty Pilgrim. So I'm hoping this event just raises enough money that we come in second.
In the past, we've given money to the tsunami relief. We've given money to sober houses in the area, and we do what we can.
Horse racing, which hasn't really caught on, but it's fun. It's pre-recorded horses. We sell the horses, sponsor the races, and we play the race, and people can bet on the race. And all cash prizes, so it's fun. We're giving out $5 worth of chips for people coming in. So the idea is if you're intimidated by blackjack, but you think you're going to go to Vegas or Mohegan Sun or Foxwoods, you can come and just try it without losing much money, because it's more of a family and friends event. So training wheels for casino. We've gotten a lot of support from the community. Our sponsors have been great. Tracy Chevrolet has been huge for us. We've got a lot of silent auction items too. The donations from the Ritz-Carlton, Harvest, and Harvard Yard, and we've been really lucky to have a lot of community support. We feel great about that.
Those Vegas nights are great, terrific. They earn a lot of money. We just had one in Pembroke this past weekend, which I was lucky enough to be a dealer in, and I love them. Good for them. Good
That's
cause.
Great. So you were a dealer in, did you practice your poker face before?
Oh, I did. Well, you don't have to when you deal. You do that when you play.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm sure you have one.
Clearly, you don't gamble very often.
I'm not a fan of the gambling at all. But if I had a poker face, it would look like this. That's what it would look like.
Okay. Moving on.
Last week, the Friends of the Kingston Council on Aging presented the Chef's Table Award to Solstice of Kingston. Solstice was the first of 4 restaurants to be recognized for their philanthropic efforts and giving back to the community. PCN stopped into this intimate gathering.
Tonight, we're going to present the Chef's Table Award for Food and Philanthropy to Solstice. And his family, friends, and a number of people in the community are gathered around to not only honor him, but sample his wonderful appetizers, which is kind of exciting. So as marketing director, and I've only been here less than a year, a little less, I've noticed that there are a lot of restaurants that give back to the community. They do a lot for people on the South Shore and specifically in Kingston. And so we decided to have a 4-part series on honoring chefs and their restaurants who give back. And Solstice is the first one. And Holly and John Cataldi are named in the presentation. They're getting the Chef's Award. It's called Chef's Table Award, Food and Philanthropy.
We have been invited here from the Council on Aging in Kingston for a new program that they're starting. I believe they're calling it Chef's Table. They're looking for local restaurants that are giving back to the community, and we've been chosen for their first award. So it's really exciting. We are giving back to the community, and we try very much to give back to the community that gives to us. So we look at the local towns that come to Solstice, really, and try to focus on health, education, community, things like that.
We hope that to do this for 3 other restaurants and their chefs, we hope that people will make suggestions who they think might deserve this award, and we will do it throughout the spring. So beginning here is a new way of bringing people together in the community. It really is. Lots of times people don't know about the senior center, and then they do. They think it's their grandmother's senior center. But this is a place where everybody gathers, and that's why we're doing the award here.
Our pet health segment takes us to Kingston for some helpful canine information from the folks at Doggy Fun and Fitness.
Bringing a dog that was once nervous and fearful of dogs out of its shell and teaching a dog that he doesn't have to be afraid of dogs or people is the most beautiful thing in the world. 2 reasons people come here are dogs are either stressed out or hyper and obnoxious. Everyone knows whether they have an obnoxious dog. Dogs that jump all the time, greet everyone, oh, it's okay, he's friendly. Yeah, but he's rude, you know, and people don't like that. You don't want to have rude kids. Why do you allow your dog to be rude? And I think, sadly, most people don't know the difference between a rude dog and a well-mannered dog. Dogs get stressed out when they're overstimulated, over-talked to, over-babied, over-coddled, and not given enough calmness. They're not giving enough structure and exercise. That leads to a stressed out dog. Dogs need exercise, socialization, adventure. These 2 guys, the 2 little ones right there, they're like best friends. So, and there's some play right there too. So you can see how calm and quiet the play is. If you walk away with this one thing, you're gonna see this trick change your life. Have a kibble, put it down by your side, say your dog's name. Dog looks up at you, eye contact, good. Say your dog's name, dog looks at you, eye contact, good. Another kibble, a kibble at a time. Dog has to look you in the eye. Guarantee you, you do this every day for a week. Every time you say your dog's name, your dog's gonna look at you because he gets conditioned, that's how he gets fed. He gives you eye contact, kibble, eye contact, kibble. You know, when you have a well-behaved dog that's welcome anywhere and everywhere, it's something to be proud of.
Town Talk takes us to Kingston Town Hall for an early spring update.
Hi, welcome again to the west wing of the Kingston Town Hall. I'm here to give you a little update on what's been going on in town. Right now, obviously, like most towns, we're in the budget season and preparing for town meeting. The annual town meeting will be held in June, June 11th, and the budgets will be prepared prior to that and will be voted on and presented at the town meeting. Also want to let you know that we recently hired our first finance director for the town of Kingston. Her name is Adi Mehta, and she came from Randolph, and prior to that she was the finance director in Walpole. So we're excited to have her on board. That'll help us work through the budgets and get a better understanding of what our goals are and what our future is financially in the town. There'll be a ballot question on the annual election, which will take place on April 30th. And that ballot question will be regarding pay-as-you-throw type system of trash disposal. The question will be that you'll be seeing on the ballot something to the effect of, do you support the town's adoption of a so-called pay-as-you-throw system to replace the current system of trash disposal at the town's transfer station? There'll be a yes or no vote. There'll be a little description of what it means, and prior to that, there'll be some forums so you get educated on what the program is. It'll be a non-binding question. It's developed to give guidance to the Board of Selectmen, who will ultimately have the authority to make that choice. So look forward to seeing that ballot question on the annual election. Recently, the town signed a purchase and sales agreement for the Albertini land purchase. That's been something that's been talked about for a number of months. It is a 32-acre parcel of land that the town will now use as passive recreation and conservation. So we're excited to bring that in to the town. And finally, on a more personal note, one of our longtime employees, Lynn Cook, who has been in the Selectman's office for over 16 years, has retired. And we just want to wish Lynn and a long and happy retirement, and we're going to miss her in the office. So you'll see a new person sitting out there the next time you come into the office. And that's it from here. I hope everybody gets to the polls and to the town meeting, and hope to see you there. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Replay times and links can be found at PACTV's website, and you can see the show on YouTube.
Be sure to like us on social media. PCN is on Facebook and Twitter, where we post previews and links to all of our stories.
If you have a local story for the show, email kim@pactv.org or fill out a story submission form at our website.
See you next week for more local stories here on PACTV Community News.